Hello. USB pin to the bus. Okay, 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 okay. Oh, fine. Every time I wake up next to you, I talk to God. And I'm so damn grateful cause you make up for the things I'm not. Didn't know I needed nothing till I needed you. In a world that's spinning, it ain't easy letting go. 8 billion people, we just looking for a hand to hold. Everybody's trying to find someone to hold on to. It's okay, we all try to pretend that we're brave. When I'm weak, yeah, I'm strong, cause of you at the end of the day. Everybody needs somebody, somebody to remind you that you're not alone. Who gon' defend you like an army, and never let go. Everybody needs somebody, somebody to wake up to. BG, you're the first here. Ah!
I'm waiting
Welcome, brothers.
Yeah, thank you. It's an opportunity I've been waiting for a very long time.
How have you been now?
I'm fine. How you
Why
doing
your
too?
face be this? Boss here.
Now you be boss. So.
Hey! Boss here. Wow, this is good. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so really happy. I'm really happy to have you here.
Excited too. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good. How's your baby now? How's your wife doing?
It's fine. And funny enough, my baby shares the same name with your son.
Oh, Jason! I just
Yeah.
need to. How can I admit everybody? I don't want to be doing all this, admitting people one by one like this, because a lot of people want to join. Let me see. There is a way I can do that thing. Okay, disable the waiting you disable. Let everybody just come in, and then we can have a good conversation. Yes, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Hey, bosses! How is fasting going now? Èmi gbà wẹ̀ ẹ bá mi send nìkan sínú o.
Àṣírí.
I dey fast o. I don reduce the number of pizza before during when Ramadan never come, I dey order like 2. Now na 1 pizza I dey order.
Nothing do you.
It's really nice to see you. Man.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Madam and the kids now.
Oh, thank God they're doing well. How's my boy? I can see his picture displayed. How he's growing, how he's catching up with everything that you taught him.
serious work, Jerry.
Wallahi, don't be smarty.
Yeah, thank God.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Wallahi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, sir.
Yeah, so we're going to get started very soon now.
No problem. We're on standby.
Yeah, we're going to get started very soon. Okay, it's 2 o'clock already. Good. So it's already 2 o'clock. Should we give people like 5 minutes more? We have all this African time kind of thing. People always want to like come when. So let's just give people like 5 more minutes. So I don't really want us to be like too plenty, so that I can give you guys quality attention and I can answer all of your questions. So I think we have like say like 20-25 people. It's gonna be amazing. Easy for all of us to be able to get
You don't love me. You don't.
I go someone about that. Wait for you.
okay. Okay, so sorry, let me get my music going. Okay, don't worry. Let me do Nigerian music. That'll be better. Most of the time when I'm working, I listen to Nigerian songs a lot. But there is this new Justin Bieber album that I also like also. So, but let me get I'll just tell. Okay, Google, can you play Wonderful by Burna Boy? I think that would be a good one to get us moving.
Wonderful by Burna Boy, sure. Playing on Apple Music.
So let's do that. So when this music finished, we'll get started. Just to give people 2 more minutes. Okay. So during the presentation, you can actually drop. Okay, I'll do that when we get started. I'll just give some of the ground rules of things we're gonna be doing. So let me share my screen now. Sorry, I have so many screens here. Just have to pick the right one. If you can see my screen, just send yes on the chat so I can know that you can see me. If you can see my screen, just type yes so I can, yeah, good. Okay. All right. I think we can start. Okay. 6 ready. Thank you, Google. So that's it. That's just like one more. I don't want to waste a lot of our time. So I know some other people will join us when we get started. So let's just go on quickly. So I know a lot of you have seen my emails. I sent out some assignments and things like that. So I'm just going to give a brief introduction about myself. Some of you already know me. So but it's just always good to like introduce myself. Some of you know me like this annoying guy on Facebook, always abusing Buhari and other politicians. But I'm not a bad of a person. I'm really nice. So so my name is Peter Ayeni. Currently I'm a software engineer in the UK. So I've been doing software like tech stuff now for like 14 years. Yeah, if I could remember. So and one thing I used to say to people is that it doesn't matter when you want to get started in tech. There is no technology is like a space that there is not like there is no senior or junior. It's very blurry. You understand? Though experience counts, but aside from that, like someone can start in tech today, and if the person is very smart and can play his card very well, he can start earning far more than I do. I've been earning in the past 4 or 5 years. So that is how technology is. So everybody can be able to like come into this space and do great things. So I'm going to press record because I think it's gonna help us. Yeah, because I would love to have this session. Sorry, let me quickly. Let me stop sharing. I just want to see if. Oh my goodness, the recording has been on all this while. Okay, that's even better. Fine. So, oh, that's fine. Okay then. I'll just continue sharing my screen. Sorry guys. I just want to be sure that we have all these things captured. And yeah, good. So we're back up. So just like I'm saying, like there is no anyone can be whatever they desire to be in technology, and that is exactly why I started BreakIntoTech like 2 years ago. So the concept is actually to be able to like help people. So maybe you have a software engineering background or computer science background, or you don't. So no matter what you do, or you come from a totally different background and you want to start learning technology or applying technology to your work. So like a lot of us, we have been using like maybe Instagram, Facebook, and all these things, all this technology. I'm like, okay, how do I make them? You understand? So, and that is the essence of this platform. So what I'm trying to do here is just like expose you guys to tools that everybody use, even me, even the most senior person or software engineers in Google or Facebook are using. So then I'm not going to give you tips that you can use to be able to like set yourself apart in the industry, to be able to like go from where you are right now to whichever place you see yourself to be in the next 1 or 2 years. You understand? So for me, actually, over the years, I've worked with a lot of organizations in Nigeria. So from design to technology. So and in the past year, when I moved to UK, past 2 or 3 years, I've also been able to like work with a lot of organizations in the UK. I've been chance to volunteer with British Red Cross and say I work in their learning department, learning and development department also. So I work with AMNIC, also then with Previsico that I just resigned. So in Previsico, so I was able to like work with them for like a year plus. So I think that was one of my major UK job I've done, and it's really inspiring. So be able to like build a lot of software that can help millions of people around the world. So, and aside from that, I've also worked with Udacity. So I work with Udacity as a technical mentor for Europe and Africa. So that really exposed me a lot to be able to work with a lot of students across across the globe. So in Europe, in Africa. So and that also I have like 4.94 rating from Audacity. So that's a lot. So that shows that like, and a lot of my students actually got jobs even while doing their courses. So it's really very, a lot of them are really happy in the way like I was help them to be able to like achieve their goals. So that's it. So because in this group that we have today, we have people that just want to get started with technology. We have people that they have already been in tech for a long time, but they want to like just move something up to the next level. And we have people that they don't even know jack about what are we talking about technology and everything. So that's why I'm just going to try as much as possible. I'm going to make this thing as simple as possible. But no matter where you are, either you're in this 4 years into tech or you're just zero or you're in the middle, what we are going to discuss today is going to help you a lot. And I'm going to make my presentation very brief so that when I'm through, we are going to get more value from asking questions. So don't be ashamed of asking questions. So this is a safe place. Whatever question it is, there is nothing like a dumb question. So whatever it is you want to ask, just ask it away. So is it concerning getting a job, learning something? Is it a programming language you have been struggling with? What are the tips you can, like, whatever question it is, whatever. Because when you ask questions, then I can go deeper and then be able to like tell you some of the tips and some of the things I use to overcome the challenges in tech, because a lot of people used to think like, tech people, they are these genius and everything. I'm not too smart and never. It's not always like that, that people in tech are just human beings like us. They make mistakes. Even some of them don't even know math. Some of them don't even have a degree. So it shows you that they're just human beings like us who have self-doubt and everything. So when it's time for us to ask questions, please go on in and ask your questions. Don't be scared, because when you ask, you know better. Listening to me we don't help so much. Okay, let me find where my mouse is. Okay, so yeah, so I've said my name is Peter Ayeni. So I actually love like helping people get started in technology and social entrepreneurship. So we have this section last week with people that are in business and social entrepreneurship. So, and I just like to have conversation in areas in which I know that I've been grounded. I've tried myself. I've failed. I've known what works and I've learned also. So I've been opportune to learn from one of the biggest like big names in social entrepreneurship in the world. So that's why I was able to like teach some of those knowledge I have. So in technology also, I've been opportune to learn from one of the biggest name in technology, both in the UK, Germany, and all over the world. I've paid for a lot of like courses that ordinarily a lot of people may not be able to afford. I've spent courses like I spent like £500 on a course. I've spent a lot of money like in courses in different things that a lot of people may not have access to. But then if you have access to all this information and learn all these things, then it's good to be able to like expose this information to other people to be able to like take advantage of them. And I've gone to a software engineering school where I've paid over £12,000. It's a lot of money for a software engineering school. so now what I'm trying to do now is that, do you really need to pay all of this big money to learn technology? Maybe no, maybe yes. So, but the idea is just like give you guys those informations and we can learn from each other. Okay. So what exactly is tech in the first place? Like, what is technology? Like we talk, it's just like a buzzword that we say these days. Technology, IT, and all of these things. So in my own understanding, like it's like combination of a lot of things. And it doesn't have to be like in the beginning, technology wasn't like so innovation and computer and electronics as we have it today. So in the beginning, it was just like when we have this steam engine and we have all these mechanical abacus kind of things, all those things are technology also. But then building on top of all these things become better and better and better than we have tech. But right now, computer have actually take like when we talk of tech today, we mostly talk about technology, like like not technology, like computer-based work. So that's what we call tech. So even though when we were in secondary school or primary school, we have what we call intro tech, introductory technology, which is woodwork and all these electronics things. But now I think computer have find a way to just take that space up and involve everything tech. So, but if we talk about tech itself, it's not just about computer. There are a lot of things. We have the software engineering, we have the hardware, we have the networking, we have uh, electronics designs, we have all these kind of things, mechanical engineering, even architect, all of them coming together to use the kind of forms of technology to do things. So, but in this space of our conversation today, we are going to do technology in terms of computer enabled technology, things that computer can help us to in terms of our job, our work, and solutions and things like that. So everything we're going to be discussing today are going to be tech-based solutions, which are technology and around computers. Okay, so that is what we're talking about. So in that kind of case, what is tech then? So tech is whatever we can use computer to solve problems. So we have solutions, we have softwares and hardware coming together to build solutions. Like we have mobile apps, so we have web applications, we have machine learning, we have data science, we have design, we have visualization tools, we have a lot of things like that. We have drones, so we have what we call it driverless cars and things like that. So all of these things are what computer can help us to be able to do. So according to Wikipedia, so technology is the sum of techniques, skills, methods, and processes used in the production of goods or services or in the accomplishment of objectives such as scientific investigation. So, and technology can be the knowledge of techniques, processes, and the like, or it can be embedded in machines to allow us for operation without detailed knowledge of their workings. So like we put Zoom up now and we are all talking to each other from all over the world. We don't know how Zoom work. I don't care how Zoom work. I just pay for the subscription and they give me the service and we can use it. And that is what technology is all about. So when your clients call you like, okay, we want to build a website for our bank or our this thing, and they give you the specification, what you do is turn those specification into the website they can visit and they're like, oh, we love it. And then people can visit those websites. But nobody cares if this website, how do you make it or not? They just like see the thing. So, and that is a lot about all the technology we use around us. We use iPhones, Android, and things like that. Most of them don't even know how those technology communicate. Even we use Wi-Fi, even as simple as Bluetooth is, we don't need to understand how Bluetooth works, but I can transfer files to you and you use it. And that's what technology is all about. So, and then we have information technology, which is peculiar to us right now. So information technology is the use of computers to store, retrieve, transmit, and manipulate data or information. So IT is typically used within the context of business operation as opposed to personal entertainment technologies. So information technologies will be like what we use to enable business transactions in bank, Oracle, all these big names, IBM, what they do. So IT is considered to be a subset of information and communication technology. So we still have information and communication technology, which is broad, like we have all these MTN, all these telcos, so they use information and communication technology. Then we use the IT, so different kind of the data, broadbands, all those ones are all encompassed into information technology. So is it meant for me or just for some extra talented people? So this where this question is it meant for me? Is all these codes they are writing, what does it even mean? What's all this thing? Like for me also, like in the beginning, then when I started to see technology, I see people write a lot of codes, I was like, what does it even mean? And what does all these things do? And sometimes in the beginning, it can put you off, like, why should be typing all these things? But one thing you should always understand is that the closer you are to something and get closer and closer to it, and you get familiar to it, then the more you now understand that, oh, this is not as hard as it is. It's just because you are looking at it from afar. It's just like, for instance, I don't know if any of you do what we call art and painting. When you see a very beautiful portrait, you just be like, oh my God, how did this person do it? You understand? Like, if you don't know anything about art, you just like, my God, this is so beautiful. This is amazing. This guy is a genius. How did they do it? But for me, I'm a very curious person. I like art. I've been drawing since I was a kid. So I went to learn. I paid someone, to an artist, to teach me how to do portrait. And then I saw them like just put lines, 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 and lines, and lines, and lines, and grid. And then they start sketching the thing and put it on the picture. You can see the picture and you can then be marking it, all the numbers and face features and everything, you bring everything out. So before you know it, even you that doesn't even know anything about drawings, you can produce a masterpiece of art just following the process. That's all. So just do the grade and there's a number your pictures, and you can look at the reference and you can just trace, okay, the nose is between 2 and 4, 2 and 4. The head is between 7 and 8, 7 and 8, and you trace all those things out. Before you know it, your portrait is ready. And after they do it, they paint everything, they clean out the grid. So when you saw the picture, you can't see the grid because they clean it out. Then you now see that, oh my God, this is beautiful. You understand? But if you get the secret to how this behind the scene grid work, then anyone can be an artist. You understand? So, and that is how it is in technology also. Anyone can be an artist. Anyone can be a software engineer. You don't need a special talent. You just need to like understand the techniques. In the beginning, it's going to be like put you off, but the closer you get to it, closer you get familiar to it, the better you get like, haha, oh, okay, this is that. That's it. And then you practice, and you practice, and then you practice, and then you practice, and then you get better, and then you get understanding, then you have the skills. And then before you know it, you are a software engineer building solutions to a lot of people. So there is this quote I really like. I don't know if I do really recommend this movie called Ratatouille. So Ratatouille is really nice. It's so we have this chef, French chef, that believes that anyone can actually cook. So you just need to give them the recipe and they'll be able to do it. And there's this guy that be like, not anyone can cook. It's not possible that, like, if you are a chef, you have to have this ability, like it's inborn into you and everything. But Gustiola is like, no, anyone can do it. Like, what I say is true. Anyone can cook, but only the fearless can be great. So the thing is that anyone can be an artist if you learn the basic lines and everything. But how do you become a great artist? Then you have to go outside that lines and then become more creative. Then you become more fearless. Then you use more techniques and then you become better. The same thing to software engineering. Anyone can become a software engineer, learn the tricks and everything. You start to learn the programming language and then you start to code. Then how do you become a great software engineer? Like, you think outside those rules and you break the rules and you create something new. So that is innovation. So that was, I just like paraphrased that code. Like, what I say is true. Anyone can code, but only the fearless can be great. And that's the thing. Anyone can code. Any one of us can code. It's not, I've taught my son programming, just explained to him what programming is. And he has done like his first programming course on code.org, where he got his certificate. Because the thing is that just for you to like understand this thing and just tell them what it is. So if he is 4 years old, he can understand the steps. So we have these steps of instruction for you to do this. Then we have this set of instructions for you to do that. And that is what code is all about. Coding is just like instructions we give to computer to be able to give us some certain output. And that's what we need to do. So give computer this input, and then we expect this kind of output. And then there are frameworks and things. We're going to get to all these things. I'm going to explain to you different programming languages and how they work. And then we talked about different versions of aspect of computer science that you can go to, or tech that you can work in. Okay. So my own journey into tech Yeah, I think one of the reasons I like to discuss about my own story, I've written a lot about it, and I think it's just good, like inspire you to be able to know that you can do it, anyone can do it, and yeah, there's no limit. And today internet have even make it way better. So, and that's why I'm going to like share a little bit of my story. So for me, actually, when I was in secondary school, then actually wanted to study what they call it, medicine. Yeah, I want to study medicine. That was what I wanted to study. So, and when we were in school, then because I stayed in the boarding house, like semi boarding house. So, and one of those days, one of my classmates is his mom. His name is Yusuf Abdullah. So his mom is actually a teacher in one of our schools. So they live in the school quarters. So we were at his house when he was trying to make gari for us, and the hot water spilled and then pour on his body. So he has a 3-degree burn like that. Then we had to take him to the hospital. So when we got to the hospital, and we now discovered that when we got there, we got to the emergency, we met a man there, that man was burnt from head to toe. I was just like, goodness, like, and the man was crying in University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, help, help, because it was burnt from neck to toe. So, but he can still talk. So, but the nurses there were like, there's nothing they can do because they can't see any vein in his body to inject anything. And as we got into the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital emergency that day, all of us just like went back. Even my friend that has the bonds were like, he even forgot about his own bonds, because that sometimes you see something that is like bigger than your own problem. You'll be like, my God. So you even forgot what your own issue is. So when I saw that man in that pain, I really felt terrible for him. You understand? And there's no little that those people can do. So, and after that time, our friend was attended to and everything, and I saw the emergency, and everybody's different people hanging their legs, some people accidents, and it was just like a horrible sight to see. And after that day, I just felt like medicine is not for me, like, because, and another thing I thought is that, okay, if you want to help people but you can't help them, so technology, like medicine, limits your expression of trying to help people, maybe just because of the experience I have in that place, but that was my idea in that time. So I was just like, what else can I do? So, and I've not really been into tech, but I just have doubts that if medicine was something I was supposed to do then. So luckily for me, after my secondary school, my mom was like, okay, is it my parents? Someone just advised me that I shouldn't do my jam the same year. So I should wait for my wife to come in around.
But these are tubes.
It's okay. Go show mommy, okay?
But these are leafy tubes.
I know. I'm in a meeting now. Go and show mommy.
But but Daddy, I need real yellow tubes.
Okay, go okay. Mommy will give you then, okay? So sorry. So sorry, I'm just telling my wife to attend to Jason. It's like it doesn't continue to disrupt us. So then I have to like have 1 year gap here. And luckily for me, during that 1 year, like, okay, what I'm gonna do? I was able to meet an engineer then. So he was it was a electrical and electronics engineer. So that was the place I get to know more about engineering. So we were using what we call this circuit wizard or PCB wizard. So and the man is actually the chief engineer for University of Ilorin then. So the teaching hospital. So then they were just building the teaching hospital. So all the panels and the electrical socket and everything, the electrical panel and power breakers that they use for that contract, it was the one that built them. So I was working with them in his lab. So we designed electronics board, we designed a lot of things. Like, it was really amazing what we can do with computers. So we actually designed electronic circuit boards on computer, and then we can print them out on the PCB board, and then we can etch and mount all those electrical components and put them. So then I was able to build like 5 timer, fire alarm. I was able to build like we have this tank alarm that, if you have tanks water in your house, you can put it inside, and when the water is full, the stuff can just like alarm you like boom 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 boom, and then you can just switch it off instead of allowing the water to spill. So those are the things I was building at those time. And then one of his daughter is actually good with computer. He was one that teach me how to use Microsoft Word and things like that. And then I'm like, okay, maybe you can use computer with to do a lot of things. So after that, I was just like, okay, maybe this is good. Maybe I should just explore computer. And the next year, I was supposed to write my JAMB, even though I registered for JAMB and I didn't go to that class, to that exam. I remember that day vividly. I was actually in the cyber cafe browsing about tech and stuff like that. And that was why I started learning about technology. So 5 years after my secondary school, I was doing tech things. So and most of them are self-taught because most of the things that we have during those periods, we have NIT. NIT was really expensive. I couldn't afford it. So, and also most Nigerian schools, what they do there is only computer science. There's no software engineering courses. So, and I actually wanted to study software engineering then. So what I'm just trying to say this is that then it was really difficult because you have like browsing was expensive and there was no like mobile telco that you can subscribe data like that. So I have to go to night browsing to learn. My first website that I published then, I remember I have to go to night browsing to upload through FTP to GoDaddy server that day. It was really, really like, it's not how slow it was to just upload. And I used Micromedia Dreamweaver to build the website and Flash, Micromedia Flash and things. And some of you will know some of those tools. So it was really difficult. And then I bought a Java book. Then I taught myself Java. And before you know it, then I met a very good friend of mine, Timo, that told me about informatics. I'm like, okay, this is good. So then I put mine together because then I have my own tech company called Ayeni Technologies then. So that was what I do. I do design for people, websites, I repair computers, laptop installation, all of those things. That's what we do. Installation of softwares, buy laptop for clients, help them design. I taught myself graphics also and everything. So when I went to informatics, that was when I actually like just certify myself. So like, okay, I have some certification for computer, but then I've been doing a lot of coding. And remember then I was like doing projects for some of my friends in school. That was what I was using to like support myself in school then. So when I finished from informatics, I got a job immediately. Even before I finished informatics, I got a job in Abuja. So, and when I did the interview, the chairman was like, okay, after my final project, I can come and resume. So luckily for me, even the person that actually introduced me to the company was actually a student in informatics also. So he's always in my room. I'm like, he likes what I do because I design. And the company is a printing company, so I do design and everything. So he will come to my place. I used to teach him Photoshop and I use all the Adobe suits then. It was just like in their company, they don't even use Photoshop. They use CorelDRAW only. So, and for me, I actually basically taught myself all those technology then. So it was really amazing. So what I was trying to say this is that, sometimes you're going to have limited resources, but that shouldn't deter you for trying to learn. Because I can remember then during that period, there was this graphic design school that was really popular in Nigeria then. His name is called Abinibi. Some of you may know him. Abinibi is like one of the top graphic designers in Nigeria, and the guy is really expensive. And even at that time, it's not as if it's really expensive like that, but it's just that I think his courses were like 50,000 foundation, and I think 80,000 or 100,000 for advanced or something like that. That is in 2000 and this 2008, 2009. But then I couldn't afford that money. I have to go to Lagos to do the course. So what I used to do to him is like I would go to his website or his website, then I would download all these designs, and then I'll be using Photoshop to try to recreate them and everything. And that was why I actually learned Photoshop and just taught myself how to do it. So sometimes you see that it's not really about the resources that you have. It's just about your own willingness, to be able to like take all these bits and pieces you can get and then put them together to build something, and then you continue to build on top of that. And that's what I did. So immediately I got my job at in Abuja, then immediately from informatics. That helps me a lot because the company was really a big company. So they bought me Mac, they bought me they bought me a lot of tools, and the internet is fast. So even though I was employed as a graphic designer, so I just look at opportunities in the organization. Like, you guys have websites. I asked about it. So the people that develop their website for them charge them ridiculously, and they don't update it often. So I just tell the chairman, like, I can build websites. He was like, really, you can do it? He now say I should try. That was why I designed the website of the organization. They love it, and immediately a new department was created in the company for software, and then I built a portal for them. So instead of using papers all the time for everything, so I use, and then I have idea of Drupal. Drupal, WordPress, Magento, they're all PHP then. So I know Drupal. So I just like use Drupal for them and build an internal portal where they can use to like send messages, memo, and everything. And then before you know it, my salary was increased and things like that. And I started working closely with the chairman of the organization and everything. And after some time, I left the organization for some time. So before you know it, the chairman was now like, okay, he's trying to build a new company and expand. He called me back to Abuja again, and I went back to join the company. So I worked with them for like another 1 year plus, and I resigned again because I was telling them to start this idea of what Printivo is doing now. Like, okay, let's build a platform where people can be ordering printing online instead of just printing for governments and big companies. So, but I think the chairman was not open to that idea. I just felt like, yeah, I was getting some salary that is okay. I was living in Abuja area 10, but I just felt like the job is stuck in me. Like, I'm just stuck here. So that's why I just resigned and stayed back in Abuja when I got married. And before you know it, I got other jobs as a consultant, and my career began to like move forward during those periods. So I think the idea is just like you having what you have at the moment, and then you use it to build the career that you desire to have. So because there is no time in the world that everything's going to be perfect. So even when I get started in tech, then it was really more difficult because internet is horrible. There is no open source technology like we have it here. Then most people are using .NET, C#, and they are all closed software. So to even become a .NET developer is very expensive. So the only open source software we have then was Java. And to learn Java was difficult because there is not a lot of teachers then to teach Java, only for NIT. And NIT is even expensive. So for some of us, we just have like PHP help a lot in the beginning in open source, like WordPress. So then we use that one to like build our portfolio. Then we start to learn more, and that's how you just grow. So that's my own stories in tech. So how can we position ourselves for better opportunities in tech? So so moving from all those things I've told you about my own personal journey into technology. So I'm just trying to say that, you see, I came from the platform where I don't even have a degree in the first place. When I got into started in tech, I was just straight out of secondary school, started teaching myself technology, from my own home, going to cyber cafe, spend 500 naira per hour, or do overnight 350. These nights where you have Yahoo boys, all of them smoking over your head, loud music, you understand? But you have to just stay there, and like you have to read. Some of the time you are going to like download everything you've learned online, copy and paste, put them in Microsoft Word, save them on your flash. God save you, there is no virus from those Yahoo guys that they put on a system that will wipe up everything you have done. Sometimes you have to burn all the tutorials on CD so that when you go home, you can then watch for CD, because CD can at least save you from virus, aside from what I call it, flash drive. So because flash drive is even those written. So I have this CD pouch where I put all my tutorials and label them. So what I'm just trying to say is that these days, internet is cheap. We can say that internet is hard in Nigeria, but it's still cheaper than it was then. now on your phone and everything, you can learn a lot of things. So how do you position yourself for opportunities in the tech industry, no matter what your level is? So number one thing I want to say is that, coding and learning about tech skills is just like the tip of the iceberg. Anybody can code. There are a lot of people that know how to code or have an idea of coding. Even there are a lot of people in Nigeria today or in other African countries that can code, but they cannot even land a very good job in the industry. Why? Because people that are going to hire you, they're not just looking about your ability to code. It's just one thing. And that is one thing that I also like. There are a lot of people that have done a lot of damages to our character as a country in Africa, especially Nigerian, that people find it difficult or find it hard to like hire Nigerian. But one thing that you as an individual, you can still set yourself apart and make yourself trustworthy. You understand? So, and how do you make yourself trustworthy? It's part of the assignment I sent to you guys to do. As simple as those 3 assignments are, they are very, very important and very crucial for you to build your digital footprint and open yourself up to opportunities. There's nowhere you are today that you can't even get a job. There's nowhere. I have friends that have been working in Switzerland. They are in Nigeria. They work for organizations in Switzerland. They have organizations in the US and everything. I have been here. I've worked for a company in US. So this city was a US company, and I work for them from here. So a lot of organizations are looking for people they can trust. So how do you build that trust? So for you to build your trust, you need to build a valid professional online brand for yourself. You understand? So you need to build a brand and associate your brand with other trustworthy people that can recommend you. You understand? So because it's just like it's very difficult, like if there's a company that is going to hire in the UK, and I'll recommend Moses. I know this guy. He has been to my masterclass and I recommended him. And then I recommended you, and then you hire you because I recommended you. Then you messed up there and everything. Immediately it's going to rub off on me, and it's going to affect other people in the future that I'm going to recommend. So that's what I'm saying, that you see, coding and all these skills are basic things. I'm telling you, technology skills are basic things. If you have the idea of it, you're good to go. Every other thing that they are looking for is character. Character is very, very important. Are you trustworthy? Number 2 is collaboration. Can you work with other people? Number 3 is communication. Can you communicate your ideas? So you understand. So all these subtle soft skills are things that they don't teach us in school. You understand, but we have to inculcate them. So that's why I say that you need to open a Medium account. Medium account shows that you can communicate yourself. You can write. You understand. People want to, because most of the time when you are doing a coding project, I remember when I was leaving Previsical, I've been coding with them and everything. When I'm going to leave, I have to document everything I have done, because you don't want the person coming after you to get to the source code of what you are built, and they find it difficult to be able to like, Peter, what did you do here? You don't understand anything. So it's a loss of money. It will be at loss to the company that even hire you. So what I even did for them when I was going was I rewrote our documentation again. I rebuilt it from scratch. I make it better in such a way that the one we have before was just PDF. PDF is difficult to read. I have to build a live documentation that people can install, and then they can browse it just like a website. It's very easy to read and everything. You can copy, document everything. All the codes are well documentation. Why do you do this? So that's how I post some times ago, it's not about what you write. You spend more time explaining your code, why you do it, and what you did, why you did it. They are the things that you're going to be talking about mostly when you hire a software engineer. So you spend less time writing code, but more time talking to people. You're going to talk to stakeholders. You understand? Stakeholders are going to be there. You're going to talk to them. You're going to write documentation. You're going to express yourself. You're going to have team and leadership. At some point, you're going to have interns that are going to work under you. They're going to relate with you and everything. So all these skills are as much as important as your tech skills. Even a lot of organizations will hire you if you have all these skills and then teach you how to code. You understand? That's the thing. Because how to code and everything, people learn it on the job all the time. Most organizations will say, "I'm still going to train you to learn more things." So after all those things I've talked about, are you trustworthy? Can you collaborate with other people? Do you have character? Trustworthy and character are the same thing. Can you communicate your ideas? Can you document it? Can you write? And then the last one is that, can you learn? Are you teachable? You understand? Are you open to learn new things? So one thing about tech spaces, there's just like every one of us, if you have an idea in tech, things move very fast. And that's the truth. Like 6 months in tech is like 4 years in real life or in some other industry. Then you have to stay abreast of all these things. You have to be able to like be up to date to learn, and you have to be open. You have to be honest. This is what I know. This is what I want to learn, and this is what I'm learning. That is technology for you. This is what I know. This is what I want to learn, or I want to know in the future, and this is what I'm currently learning. So you have to have all those things at every time. So build your online brand. Go to your LinkedIn, touch it up. Go and check my own LinkedIn pages. Look at how I document my things. Document what you have. Put your certifications there. Any courses you have done, put them in your LinkedIn. Make your LinkedIn up to date, because there are a lot of people that are searching every day for talents and people to work with. So I've seen a lot of people that have, when I resign my job, even if I resign my job, I've had so many offers. People have been telling me these are that. I'm like, sorry, I'm not open now, but I'll get in touch with you later. That's how you build connection. Like people are always like before I left my job, I don't have any job in mind. But in 2 or 3 days, I have options, because I've built all those relationships on ground even before it. So if I'm what the problem I'm having right now is, which one should I choose? I'm just going to like look at them. Okay, this one is better. Okay, this one, I like the job, what they're doing. So that at that time, you are the one picking and choosing. You understand? So, and your LinkedIn account, your GitHub account, your communication and writing, technical skills, are all of these things are going to like be like your digital footprint and portfolio for you. So, just like I said, all of these things that I've said, how do you do them? How do you build yourself up in technology? No matter what you want to do, either you want to be a front-end engineer, either you want to be a back-end engineer, either you want to be a serverless cloud engineer, designer, graphic design, and everything. All what I'm saying apply to everyone, not just in coding. It apply in everything. If you want to be a UI, UX, whatever aspect of technology you want to be, mobile app engineering, Android, iOS, whatever programming language, these things apply to everyone. You have to continue learning. Continuing learning is very important. When I resigned my job, currently, the first thing I did is like, okay, for my maybe my last pay or something, I took it out. I bought like 5 new books, and had them to my library. Why would I need to do that? Because you need to move forward. Then you can't just stay like, okay, I'm a software engineer now, but what are you thinking? What is your aim? What do you want to be in the next 5 years? What do you want to become? So you have to continue to project yourself and prepare yourself for the future, and you learn, and then you practice. So you practice as much as you can. And how do you apply all what you are practicing? Build projects, So when you build projects, you can show people what you are passionate about. And one thing about tech is that there are a lot of money in tech. People can sense that. So if you're like, I'm just in tech for the money, I will know because of your attitude and the way you portray yourself. But if you're in tech for the love of the fact that I love technology, that's one of the questions I ask during this session. Like, why are you passionate about technology? So because you have to like love this thing. Technology can be tedious, it can be difficult, it can be crazy, but you have to love it. You're just like, okay, I just want to be there for the money. It can be frustrating for you. You understand? So it has to be something like you love. That's why you have to look at the spectrum of technology. Which aspect do you love doing? Do you love backend? Read about it and look at it. Is it something that you think is for you? Do you love front-end design? Look at it. Do you love mobile app and development? Do you love what will I call it? uh iOS, or you have graphic design, or do you love testing, or do you know user assurance things? So there are a lot of spectrum in technology. Do you love networking? Do you know repairs, hardware, cloud, or something, whatever? So if you find that thing, then learn as much as possible as you can about it. Then after you build project, give back to the community. How do you give back? By teaching other people what you know. And that is what a lot of organizations are looking at. Like when you teach other people what you know, you are building your own personal brand also. It shows that you are collaborative, you can teach, you can learn, you can get feedback, you can organize all these things. There are people in tech today that they're not even programmer, they are just what we call community organizers and dev relations, and they're making a lot of money for companies. Like Google have a lot of developer relations all over the world. They're just like teaching people, talking to people about technology and Google Text and things like that. You understand? So there's a lot of like spectrum that you can choose from, and you can be better at. Then give back as much as you be, and you can even learn more by teaching other people. So if you learn something today, just go ahead and teach 5 to people about it. So get training as much as you can. It can be one-on-one training. It can be local training in your community. So take advantage of free learning portals. Like I'm going to share a lot with you guys. So there is one I love so much, which is Free Code Camp. Now, one like every one of it, I'm going to demonstrate it to you today. Like I want every one of you to be on it. It's really good. I use it also for learning, coding and other things. So I think for a lot of you guys that want to go into coding or designs, yeah, you appreciate that. So Google Developers Platform, there are a lot of free tutorials there. Microsoft also, they have their own. So because, in tech right now, it's all about platforms these days. So we have Google, we have Microsoft, and we have AWS. Those are the biggest platforms. Then we have IBM and Oracle. Those are other platforms also. So IBM, Oracle are more like enterprise kind of platforms, but you see a lot of startups, small business, medium business use Microsoft, Google, and AWS a lot. So all of these platforms have their own variety of resources. I'm going to show you. So you can look at them and just look at which one you think you can lean to. Like for instance, Google Developers Platform is very plenty now. A lot of people doing it. So sometimes if you want to like be unique and be different to other people, you can just go for Google and for IBM, because I know so many people there. You understand? And then you can be an expert in IBM or something, and then it will be cool. And then if you know that it's Google also, you can go with it. Oracle is also very nice, but because they have been popular long time ago, but now they're not as popular as before. But you can use Oracle and just stand out among other people also. So I'm going to like show us all those one also. So we have a lot of resources online. I told you, FreeCodeCamp, MDN, that is Mozilla Developers Network, is like a dictionary for every software engineers, web developer out there. If you are building anything from the web, you have to make MDN like your dictionary. It has to be there. And then YouTube, there's so many resources you can learn. So one of the reasons I don't encourage for beginners to start with YouTube is because you spend days and days and days on YouTube and you learn a lot, but it's be difficult to put them together. So that is why I put Free Code Camp at the top of the chain, because Free Code Camp like is hierarchy, so you can like go what you need to know step by step by step by step by step by step, and you guide you through. You understand? And then it's really massive. So I'm going to demonstrate each of these platforms for you guys and give you guide on how to take advantage of them. So then we are going to go to question. So, but before we go to questions, so just like I said, I'm going to share quickly with you guys those platforms that I think that is going to help help a lot of us to like get started. Okay, I got some messages here. Don't worry, we're going to get into taking questions very soon. So, but before we do that, I'm just going to like quickly quickly take do the demonstration of what I needed to do. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. So before I do that, okay, I think it's good we take our selfie now. I like to take selfie in all of our sessions so we can share online later on. Do I have I'm going to put it on this big screen so that you can show your video if you can, so that we can just do our big selfie and then we go to the demonstration and then we move there. If you want to show your video and smile. Okay. All right. Is other people want to show their video? Okay. Yeah, I think we have. Yeah, I have someone else coming again. I'm gonna retake. I just like this so that. Okay, I think that was amazing. So let's do hands-on workshop right now, and then we now go back to question and answer. Okay, so let's do hands-on workshop right now. So let's meet everyone. Sorry, don't worry. We said after this we're going to party. Don't worry. After this we're going to party. So yeah, I'll meet everyone. If I'm not able to mute you, so that we can enjoy this quick workshop. Okay, good. So I'm going to share my screen again, and then I'm just going to take us to okay, yeah. So I know that I have some people here that are like mid senior developers, or you have had some things, and some of the things I'm saying, because the reason why I do the way I'm doing it is because I don't want to like leave some of the people that are just getting started behind. You understand? So there's some people that are really just getting started, you know. So, but when we get to question and answers, so if there is in mid senior developer and there is something I didn't cover, so try as much as possible to ask me. Then other people can also learn from that. Also, then I can specifically answer your own questions, you know. So I know question and answer, we actually solve a lot of those problems for us. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let me just like share my screen right now and go through this. Okay, good. So just like I said, okay, found it. Yeah, so just like I said, like there are a lot of tools out there these days to be able to learn how to code, and there's just a lot of information. So I'm going to be sharing everything with you guys. So, but one thing I want to know you to do is that it's very easy because when you have too much information, sometimes it can be difficult for you to organize, and then you fall into this rabbit hole of doing tutorials and never learning anything, and it can be very difficult. So that's why especially if you're not in the structural environment to learn how to code. So that's why I duly recommend to everyone, even if you're a senior, to use Free Code Camp. So you can see these are the people that have used Free Code Camp. These are their testimonies. A lot of people that have used Free Code Camp. I use Free Code Camp also to learn about a lot of new technology, and it's totally free. So from responsive web design, JavaScript and algorithm and structure, and front-end development. So I know a lot of us have preferences to what programming language should I learn first? What should I do? Where should I get started? I want to tell you this frank truth. So mobile app is growing and everything, but the most accessible place to start to learn how to code today is building websites, is building web application. Why do I say that? To build a web application today, you just need like 3 things. One, you need your web browser, Google web browser. Then you need a code editor, maybe code.org, VS Code. So, and then you need internet. You can build a web application just like that. Just having your Visual Studio Code, your code editor. This is what I use. And you can see my terminal here, and I use my terminal. So if you have this, terminal comes with every computer, right? You have your Visual Studio Code for coding, and then you have your browser. You can build web application. It's as simple as that. So, and that is why it's really accessible. Like for instance, we can even do a simple demonstration. Let me just create a simple hello world something. So I'll create a simple hello world folder, and I'll just seed into it into hello world. So I just want to demonstrate something for you quickly, how fast it is to actually. Oh, sorry. I don't need to put another arrow there. Okay, so I could just like open this up right now. I just opened this up right now here. So I just want to show you how very fast and simple it is for you to start up with web. So I'll just update later, please. So now, I've created a folder here. This is VS Code. I'm going to send you the link to this to download this. It's the IDE for programming, and it's free from Microsoft. I love it. It's really nice. So I'm just going to create a file now. I'm going to call this index.html. Why is it not typing? Okay, index.html. And then I can just put my list in here, and I can just do my H1 and say hello world, and say maybe H2 and say my first website. So I can save this now. Yeah, sorry, my keyboard is Windows and I'm using Mac, so sometimes it's difficult to get around. So I'm not really used to Windows keyboard. So okay, now now I've just built a website. Even if you're a beginner, you have not done anything before, you can build your first website like this, and very easy. I can change my title here. I'll show you how to do this one. Let me just like open this with a live server. If I right click, open with live server, you can just quickly see it's opening a local server for me. And see, hello world, my first website. So I just have my first website immediately here, just using my text editor, having a browser, maybe is it Chrome, or I would advise you use Chrome for building websites. It's opening Safari here, but Safari is not really that good for development. It's good for viewing, but not for development. So, and that's it. See how simple, how straightforward you can start coding tomorrow with the web. But imagine if I want to build application for iOS or Android. I have to install Java, install Android Studio, install Android Studio is like 4 gig, install emulator, install a lot of things. Like even before you do all your installation and configuration, you are even tired. Even your internet is burned out. So that's why I'm saying that if you want to start in technology, start from the basic, like where you can easily get started tomorrow. And that is web design, web application development, web backend, all these things. A lot of things you can do with web applications, and it's so amazing how it is. You understand? So, and that is exactly what you can do here. So if we go to Free Code Camp again, where should you get started? So you can get started from these first 3 courses here. I will recommend, even if you have been a senior or a mid-level, just try it out again and just go through. You will learn a lot. I always go to this JavaScript algorithm and data structure to learn about basics of programming all the time, because sometimes you forget. You want to like quickly refresh your course in your mind, or you want to prepare for an interview. You have this here. It's going to teach you everything. And JavaScript is a very good language. Why I recommend that people should start learning JavaScript is good, because JavaScript, you can use it to build web application, you can use it to build mobile application, you can use it for machine learning. JavaScript can just do everything. So if you learn JavaScript, it's very easy for you to go. And the second programming language I would advise is Python. I use Python and JavaScript. I use Ruby. I have an idea of C#. I have an idea of PHP, but I'm not an expert in them. You know, I use Ruby on Rails, like mid-level. I use Python and Django, Flask, all these platforms, I use them. So, but on my daily basis, every day at work, I use JavaScript. I use Node.js for JavaScript, AWS, and things like that. Those are the things I use at work. So if you want to know more about technology I use in my work every day, we can discuss that in question and answer. So if you finish all these three, they're all structures. Everything you need to build web. You see, I've done a lot of these ones before, and some of them I skipped them because I've known them. So it doesn't matter. And some of them there's this tutorial I do on YouTube, just following all these things, but with explanation. So because I know that some people would like to have the explanation. So I will share my YouTube channel where you can check all these things out. So if you do all these three, then it's amazing. You learn on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then you can learn the front-end development library like React. So React is really cool, and SAS and Redux and all these platforms. So you can learn them. So then after you want to go further, and Free Code Camp will allow you to build projects. They will give you project specification. So just try and follow all those specifications, build those projects if you can. You know, not even if you can, you should build all those projects because they will add up to your portfolio, and then you can add all those code to your GitHub repository and blog about all these things that you learn. You know, don't just use your Medium platform as a means for decoration. Blog about everything you learn. You blog about them. You understand? Even I would advise that each one of you to have a Medium account and write a blog tomorrow about why you want to get started in tech. You know, because if you're writing, it helps you a lot. You know, on Medium, I don't really have. I have some followers here and everything. So this is my Medium platform. So I do write a lot about things. I've worked with Map currently because of my new job. So I just tell people how to work on Map and things like that. How I got my first UK job and all these things. So I write a lot about Python, JavaScript, backend development, front end, and things like that. So, and I do write for a lot of, I think for like 5 publications that I wrote for. So, and it's really amazing what you can learn. You can see other people, other technology, even Google, all of them, they have. So I write for Level Up, I write for Better Programming, and I think I write for JavaScript. So they're a platform that I write for. So, and it's just amazing how much you can learn, and you can actually share with other people, and you can use it to like build your own portfolio. You understand that other people can actually learn from you. And the advantage of writing is that even if you forget something, then you too it can be helpful for you, because there's sometimes like maybe now I've not used Python for a long time, but I want to like quickly build a REST API or a backend service with Python. I can just go back to my article I write about Python sometimes years back, like API development in Python. I'll just go quickly and check like, okay, there I do it. And then I'll just remember like, okay, because you can't have all of these things in your head. So you can see all the detailed instruction, how to do it and everything, like, okay, good. Then I'll just write my code and then do it. Because what you are writing also, it will also going to help you as a software engineer, as a developer yourself. So it's not just for the people, it's for your own self, because when you write, it gives you what we call retentive knowledge. You know, you remember things easy. So yeah, like I said, it's a must. Free Code Camp, you should apply for it and just sign up. I have an account. If you have a GitHub account, it will just like automatically pull your account and you can log in with GitHub. So as a developer, even if you are starting out, even if you're a designer, just create a GitHub account because it can help you to like start up and learn a lot of things. So so after that, I tell you to download VS Code. If you don't have it, it's very good. So learn JavaScript first and Python. You can learn both JavaScript and Python together, but JavaScript is very easy to start with. So where do you start with JavaScript? You just need to install Node.js. So Node.js is a JavaScript runtime engine that a lot of organizations use. So for Python, if you go to nodejs.org, you get this. So all of these links I'm going to send to every one of you after this masterclass, definitely, and some even more that I will not be able to like talk about because of time. I don't want to like waste a lot of our time today. Okay, and then for Python, just go to python.org. Why I like Python is because Python community is so rich. It's so amazing. Like there's just a lot, like everything you need to learn about Python is just here. Like everything. Just go to python.org. The tutorials are amazing. It's just so good. Like it's just so good. And then if you want to build like other things with Python, so I would just recommend like building web application with Python. Django is another platform that's really, really good. And they are hiring a lot. A lot of Django developers are everywhere. So like Instagram is built with Django. Yeah, Instagram is built with Django. A lot of platforms are built with Django. If you have used Udacity, no, Udemy is built with Django. So, and that's just it's. If you don't believe me, say it here. Django Web Framework. Can you say Python? So, Django is very amazing. Instagram is built with Django, and a lot of other big organizations use Django. So I like Django too, though I'm not using it every day, but it's a very good framework that you can use as a beginner. So that's just it. So and check all those platforms out. You can learn the docs. So I would recommend start with Python and then Django. So and JavaScript, and you'll be able to learn so many things. So and there are other resources that I'm going to share with you guys for other aspects of programming. Like if you are doing designs, if you are going to be doing UI UX and things like that, then you can learn so much from them. Then I told you that there is something that every developer should have. It's like a Bible, which is why I call MDN. So MDN is what we call Mozilla Developer Network. It's really good. Just type MDN, going to bring it out. You see, MDN is huge. Like it's everything web technology is on this place. So you can see HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It's like everything web is here. So for me, I just use like a huge documentation. Like if I want to do, how do I set background in CSS? I'll just type it, how to set background in CSS. I just type. So I'm going to give you how the CSS structure, how CSS work, how to set background in CSS. I just click on it. So, and then you can work on background image, background, or whatever, maybe background itself. Then you're going to see, so background, this is a key, background green, or this one. You can even see it, if you want to do gradients, then you can see different kind of image background. So different kind of styles, and you can just copy this code and just use it in your coding, you see. So now I'm saying that like this knowledge are everywhere. You can just search and quickly you get results and you can just implement it in your code. Nobody cares. That's what I'm saying, that coding skill is not really the hard thing to get, to learn how to code, but every other soft skills, building your relationship, building network with other people, getting good recommendation, building your brand, that is good. What is going to set you apart to get the job you want or to build whatever you want to build. You understand? So another thing you want to have is Stack Overflow. I know a lot of you will know it. So Stack Overflow, like if I do something like how to get unique let me say unique, can I spell unique number members of an array in JavaScript, for instance. I'm just showing you something. So if I click on this now, so you can see different how to get unique values from an array in JavaScript. So you can see all these things here. So where I'm going to is just this Stack Overflow here. So I'll just accept for the cookies. You can see get all unique values in JavaScript array and remove duplicates. So you can see all these results here, people that have asked these questions, and then you can see all the answers you have. So Stack Overflow is a platform that you want to have on your side as a software engineer. You can ask questions, you can search and you can see all the questions other people have to ask. You too can answer your own questions and then you can learn from them. So not just to just copy the code, but just understand the code and then you can implement it. Even they even have run code snippet now, like just to run it if it's work. So you can copy it and then quickly implement it in your code, just for you to get the idea. So the idea about software engineering is that most of the problem you're going to be solving is already been solved already. So just for you to be able to like be patient, know what you want to solve, and then you can find a way to solve that problem. You understand? So what do you want to? I want to build a web application that have this feature and these features. Then you can check what technology you need to use, what database you need to use, and things like that. So, but start smallly and then build your network. Follow other people. Like for instance, if you look at Python or you're learning JavaScript, you can go on Twitter or on blogs. Look at who are top leaders in JavaScript. Follow them. You understand? Read their articles. Follow their blogs and things like that. And before you know it, you start to understand how they think, what they are doing, and things like that. So all this information, just like have them and use them. So Stack Overflow is the platform you really want to have to have in your tool belt. So so I think we've discussed a lot about a lot of these tools and everything. That we talked about framework, we talked about resources and platform, and then we have YouTube. But one reason why I won't recommend YouTube for anyone right now is because for a unique knowledge, YouTube is good, but for you to learn everything you want to learn, then it can be difficult. You understand? So maybe you are learning responsive websites here, and then you come to maybe accessibility, or let me go to somewhere, or CSS grid. So when you come to CSS grid, and because maybe some of this information is not clear to you, but this is a section, then you can go to YouTube and like, okay, understanding CSS grid, for instance. So what I need right now is video, right? I'll just do video. So, and then it can give me some YouTube video suggestions. So this one is better because you want to learn something that is unique and peculiar, you understand? And then you can see different learn CSS grid in 20 minutes or something. So this one will now give you like understanding of a particular topic narrowly, and you learn it and you quit. You understand? That is what I do on YouTube. So just learn an idea and you get it off. So, and then you can, after you get the idea, you can then go back to your structural learning and keep learning what you want to build. And you can see these are projects you can build after after this. You can build the survey, all those landing page and everything. And then they even give you certification when you're done. So so that's why I say free code camp help you to learn progressively, and it's really good. So you don't like jump all over the place and you just feel like 1 year you're not learning anything. But if you do free code camp 6 months, discipline yourself, you'll be a better developer. And then the first thing you want to do is build your own landing page or website where you just introduce yourself. It doesn't need to be something just simply simple to just show that this is what I do, you know. So introduce yourself, have your social media website there. I have some projects I've done here for a very long time. So this project I did this long time ago. I've done a lot of projects, I've not updated this, but at least it's just good that you have something that you can just show people, you understand about what you have done. And I have my blog link here. At least people have an idea that, okay, this you have a present, you understand, and they can get to know you. And I did this sport trivia, so where you can just do different things. And it's really cool, like just show people, just demonstrate your knowledge of the fact that you know what you're doing, you know. Nobody really wants you to build a very gigantic project for you to get a job. No, build something simple, functional, usable. So I just did this, like put animation, use React, put different things, like, yeah, just do it. And when you build project like this, just use like combination of different things, color, grades, everything, routing and things like that. Calculations is there. So navigation and everything, you know, and you can just like do all those things, get the result, play again. So things like this can like strike conversation with people. How do you do this and everything? And like, okay, yeah, that's good. You understand? So just play with different kind of projects you can build. It can be a quiz project like this, or it can just be like, there are a lot of projects you can build online. There are project ideas. And that is why Free Code Camp is good, because they're going to give you project ideas you can actually build while I'm doing a particular course. You understand? So, and then, like I said, your LinkedIn page, polish it up, make it good, and you can be fine. So what I want you to do now is download Visual Studio Code immediately after this. Get a Google browser, Chrome. It's very good. Sign up for GitHub account. Every developer should have this. And your Medium accounts, LinkedIn account, and everything, where you can also follow other developers. Follow me, I'll follow you back also. And then you can see, you can, like, this place is just like a place for where developers discuss, you know. You can see what they are doing, you can read other people's code, you can check all the code I've written. So you can see them, you can see how I write, how I commit and everything. You can go through them. So you can download this code, you can use it in your own projects. If they are open source projects, you can see how things are done. And then you can learn a lot from seeing what other people are writing, you know. So, and that is the essence of Free Code Camp. And for the benefit of those that want to like do, what do I call it? Data visualization, machine learning, and things like that. There's a platform I like a lot. It's called Kaggle. So this is Kaggle. They have a learning platform. Kaggle is like social media for data people. So if you are more, if you want to learn machine learning, data science, analytics, research with Python, definitely go to kaggle.com, and you can learn so much from that, you know. And just like I said, they have the Learn platform here, where they have everything for free, from Python, introduction to Python. I'm even doing this currently, just like refreshing my brain. Intro to machine learning and every other courses you have here, pandas, computer vision. Like if you want to like go into driverless cars and things like that, data cleaning, AI ethics, deep learning. So the thing is that the information are just all over the place. Like, but the problem we have these days is not like lack of information, you know, because they're just plenty everywhere. We just have them. So what I just think is just our ability to be able to like say, okay, I want to do this thing, and you commit to it. So I'm going to open up for question now. I think I've rambled a lot, but we'll learn more from me answering your peculiar question. So if you have a question, okay, yeah, I'm going to explain that. I know some people are asking some questions out of place, but I'm going to just help you. So I think it's very good. I just do another workshop that will quickly help us on back end, front end. What do they mean? What technologies you need to use? Do we want me to do that? If everybody can just type yes, if you want me to do that, I'll just quickly demonstrate internally some of these things, how we use them, and how they are different from each other. I'll just take like 10 minutes to do that. Is that good? Do we want that? Should we do that? Okay, so I get 1 year. I think 1 year is enough. I'm just going to do it anyway. Okay, so because I think that will be able to help you guys to answer, to ask good questions, because sometimes the problem is not, is like, you know, you want something, but you don't know what to ask, and it's difficult. And then when you talk to somebody that is software engineer, like ask them questions, they'll be like, what are you trying to get? They don't get it. And it will be difficult to help you if you don't know the right question to ask. So I'll just quickly do this, share my screen and do this. I will use Escali Draw. It's very cool. So, okay, so in technology itself, it's just remove this. We have the okay. We have the backend, right? We have the backend. What does the backend mean? We have here. Then we have what we call the front end. They are one side of the same coin, but it's just that the technology are becoming more complex and complex. It's just difficult. Don't worry. I'll explain each of them. And then we have UI and UX. So this relates to design. So then in this backend here, we have what we call APIs. We have API that work with backend, no backend here. So then we have, okay, let me just do this. We have API, we have database. So we have GraphQL. I will explain all these things gradually. So now let's start from backend. What does backend mean? So backend is actually basically when I say the back of something, no, that doesn't make sense. So backend is just like where all the heavy lifting of your software engineering lies. So the machines, the database, the business logic, you understand, they are all in the backend space. So that is where we build API. So API means application programming interface. I know some of you have heard of these things before and everything. So what does it entail to have a backend? So backend is where you build, like, how does someone log into your system? Authentication, for instance. So in the backend, you can decide that, okay, you have this database record that is going to have user. Then that user entity is going to have what we call email. It's going to have password. You understand? So this is where you determine all those things. So you have a user entity, but the user can have an email, password, and then they have all their information. So in the backend, that is where you code all these things, mechanism for anyone to be able to register on your website. You understand? Though they're going to use front end, because front end is going to give them pretty forms like this, like, okay, enter your email, enter your password, and then they are going to have this submit button. So when they submit, immediately they submit, the work of this front end is done. So the backend service is going to take off all the information they put in here and put it in the user database. So that next time, if we have another page here for login, for instance. So now the user will type in their email and their password, they now do login. Now, when they put all this information, the backend again will interject and take all those information and check the database. You then say that, okay, database, I have this guy called himself Peter Ayeni, and his password is Peter Ayeni. His email is peterayeni.com. Do we have this user on our database? So the database will check, and then, okay, yeah, we have this user. Okay, it will send that information back to the front end. Like, you can authenticate this user. The information comes, and then the user is sent to, oh, welcome to your application. Welcome page. So what the front end is doing is just like displaying data to the user, but it needs permission from the back end. Like, okay, do we have the record in our database? And then all the technicalities of all those things and how they happen in the back end. So front end is about how pretty, animation, layout, responsiveness, all those things. That's how they happen. But there are some people that do all this together. We call them full stack developer. You understand? So full stack is like, please, if you can help us, like, so full stack is like the big one. Like, this person can do everything. They can do your front end, they can do your back end, they can do it together. So there are different kind of framework out there that help people to do. So in every organization, some people just like separate the task. Like, okay, because there are a lot of things to do to become a back-end developer. Okay, I close it. I close that. Okay, I'm going to get it back. So, sorry about that. So now, there are a lot of things you need to do to become a back-end developer. So they just like separate it. And front-end is becoming very complicated right now. Like, we have what we call software engineering, a lot of optimization, React, and a lot of stuff. So they separate that also. But there are still some people that like, they have knowledge of both worlds. Like for me, I work in back end, I work in front end, whatever. And then we have this UI UX. So these are the people that design specifications of how our website should look at in graphic form. So if you have an idea, just like what I'm doing here now, I'll just show you quickly. This is a UI design process. So I'm working on this new idea called Web My Also. So, and I'm just sketching the idea out. You understand? So this is where we sketch the ideas. So after we sketch the idea, I'm like, okay, what we are building makes sense. We do user research, like, okay, what does the user need to see, color, branding, and everything. And after we are done with this, we now go to what we call Figma, or whatever they call it, Figma. So if I go to Figma, for instance, so Figma is a platform that people use to design. You can use it for wireframing also, and also you can use it for design too. You understand? So I don't know that. Yeah. So I can just show you. I have Figma. You can use it online, and you can also use it offline. So let me just open up the one I have offline, just to like show you guys, for people that have interest in design also and everything, just to get the idea. So when you do your wireframing, you understand, to show the idea. I shouldn't be showing this one. So these are some designs I've done for my previous work. So I'll just show. Oh, later on next launch. Okay, can you see now? So these are now where you like put all the design concepts you have done. So, and then put it on paper, like put it on for the designers to see. So you have the mobile responsive one, how it looks on mobile, how it looks on desktop. You can even design how it looks on tablets and things like that, you know. So, and that's about that. Like if I show you this one here, you can see different kind of design, mobile and everything. So this is from my previous work. I'm just showing you briefly. So so that is just how that is. So, and then you can share those ideas with people. And then this design you have done, you now give it to a front-end developer. A front-end developer will then give you what? Translate everything into a code, into what can be viewed live on a website. And then a back-end developer will provide all the services, authentication, database, API, for you to be able to make sure that all the data that is coming from the front end is not lost in transit. They are all saved. So now, what tools do you use to do all these things? I'll show you for UI UX. For UI UX, you can use like this Escalate Draw. It's very good. I use it a lot for wireframing and collaborating with other people. Like I can create a session right now here and invite you guys to join me. Don't steal my idea. So,
Okay, sir.
so I could just like show the shot now. Okay, I'll just to everyone in the meeting, I'll just send this. So if you're on desktop, probably you can open that page and you can see exactly what I'm seeing here. So this is very good for collaboration. So Figma also has the same thing. They can do it for collaboration. So now for backend, what tools do you use for backend? And I tell you that if you are starting out in technology, start with JavaScript, that because it's good, is JavaScript is a programming language that can be used on both front end and the back end. So I see someone have joined me already. So JavaScript can be used on both front end and the back end. So Python is very strong on the front end, on the back end, sorry, or full stack. So because there is some templating engine, but I'll say Python for this. So also Java also, you can see Java on the back end, very good. So, but on the front end, one language that rules front end is just JavaScript. You can see. So JavaScript rule front end. JavaScript, not only JavaScript, HTML, see, HTML, and what again? CSS. So all these technology are what we use for front end. So what framework we use for front end? We use like React. I use React anyway. So I advocate for React. It's easy to use. It's simple because you learn more of JavaScript if you use React. But if you want something a little bit different, check out Vue.js. Vue.js is good. Vue also is very good. And also for other people that are in .NET, you can use Angular. I don't like Angular before. I think it's just too much, a lot of things to learn at the same time. But I recommend React and Vue if you guys want to like check out front end. So for backend, Python and Java and JavaScript. But I would not recommend Java. Java is just difficult to learn. So, but you can use Java for backend. So then, but Python, JavaScript is very good. So what framework for JavaScript? You can use Express.js. Express.js is good. Also for Python, I told you you can use Django. I've showed you Django. And also there is Flask. Flask is very good. So the one I currently use now is called Fast API for Python. I like it a lot. It's very good for building REST and responsive API. So Fast API is really good. So I like that. So also, yeah, and I think that's it. Then we have databases. We have a PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL. So that, or you can use, some people use MySQL. I don't know how that is. But for me, I recommend PostgreSQL is commonly used in startup and a lot of business because it's very powerful. And then MongoDB. MongoDB is also really good. So don't worry, all these things I've talked about, all this technology, I'm going to like give you all the list of them and send them to you. So just pick and choose whichever way direction you think you want to go. So backend, which direction you want to go. For front end, which direction do you think you want to go? You want to go into design, UI, UX. There are a lot of things also there. So so Express.js is good. Another one I use a lot currently is Nest. Nest.js for backend. They are really, really good for JavaScript development. So you can check out all this platform. Next.js is very well documented and it uses TypeScript. So for beginners, it can be a little bit off for you, but if you are in the middle and you want to like do, it's very nice. This is really good and it's well, the documentation is really great. So, but if you're a beginner, I would just advise you just go with Express.js. Express.js is good. So it's lightweight, it's easy to learn, fast to get started with. So, and there are a lot of resources for Express.js, and you can use vanilla JavaScript. So TypeScript is a new kind of technology that is built on top of JavaScript. So, but I think starting from knowing JavaScript, then go to TypeScript later on. It's good. So that's that. And for Django, I talk about Fast API. So I currently use Fast API for most of my Python development because Django is like, it's very robust, it's really big, and you have to like, it's not really built for backend alone, you know. Django is like full-fledged application, but this Fast API is only built for APIs and backend codes. So that's why I like it, and it's very, very well documented. So if you're in the Python world, yeah, if you want to go with Python and backend, I would recommend Fast API. It's cool. So yeah, I think we have that. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to stop this session. Okay, I've logged all of you out. So good now. So these are the tools I use, and these are the businesses. So other thing we have is we have all this cloud. So I've told you about them before. We have AWS. For me, in my former job, I use AWS a lot for all of our things because we are like machine learning and a lot of things in AWS. So I've been using AWS a lot. But I think also Google is really nice. And I can't say this enough. Google, there's a Google service called Firebase that I think is really nice. I use it also. I use it to build in Bailey. Then when I was building in Bailey platform, so this Firebase is really good. If you go to firebase.google.com, is amazing. So you can use it to like see a lot of companies using Firebase in their work. Duolingo is entirely built on Firebase. Duolingo is really cool. So Firebase like give you a lot of tools to build web application, mobile apps, and things like that. So it's really nice. So just use it with JavaScript and you'll be fine. So they have a lot of things. So if you look at so Firebase is really good. So and the opposite of Firebase for if you're using AWS for instance is Amplify, AWS Amplify. So AWS Amplify is like Firebase for AWS. So it's really good also. So and what this Firebase and AWS give you is that if you are a front-end developer, and you don't want to be building your backend services by yourself. So these are the easy way to build. So if you are using AWS, just build your front end, and you just AWS give you the backend by yourself. Just write a small code and you can connect. So, and if you are building your startup, for instance, use AWS or Firebase. Like my website is old, it's like embedded.co here. This is hosted on Firebase for free. I've hosted for 3 years now. We even pay a dime. And the new startup I'm building also, Fuema also, is hosted on Firebase for free too. So that is the concept. Like if you're a software engineer, so Firebase give you this hosting for free. You just pay for your domain and you connect it, and it's very free. You understand? So that's that. I think that short. We can't talk about everything, but I just try to like give you guys as many information as I can. So it's always the exposure to all of these things that is very important, and then you can do it. Have all this knowledge and then go ahead and explore. For those of you that are opportunity to be having one-on-one mentoring with me, so I know you can take all this in, and then when we meet, you can be able to like. So, and for other people also, if you are not selected for one-on-one mentoring, if you have anything, just LinkedIn is the best place to reach me, because LinkedIn is more professional. So if you send me a message on LinkedIn, I will quickly respond to you. But if you send me a message on Facebook, I may not respond to you. Like, it's just difficult because that place is fun, it's play zone. So just try to like reach people in places where you know that they can respond to you better. So, and also if you send me direct email, it will be very easy for me to respond to you, because every one of you have emails. So, and also if you want me to like to give you a recommendation letter or something, or you want me to yeah to use me as a referee on your CV or things like that, yeah, you can also, but just like use it, let me know if you want to. And also, yeah, as we said before, character, be trustworthy, so be hardworking. There's no one that can go from here to here. It doesn't matter where you come from, but if we can just have character. I have opportunity to do yahoo and all these things. Like when I was just coming up, when we have a lot of friends around you that are riding cars and things like that, you're like, oh boy, maybe I should join them. You understand? But the thing is that most of them miss out on learning all these skills. Today they can't even have a job, because instead of them to sit down and learn the technology and build things, and then they'll be employable. But now, even some of them, is too late for them to even learn now. Some of them are even broke. For me, I can buy whatever kind of car I want to buy today. So the fact that you are hungry today, you put in the work and everything, it doesn't mean that you're going to be like that forever. You understand? So 2 years, 3 years into this period, you start earning so much. And that is how technology is. You can put a lot of work for the next 1 year now. And in 2022, you start getting you a £5,000 job, £2,000 job, or you get a contract of 100,000 or 500,000 or a million. You understand? You can never tell. So that's why the knowledge, the skills is the most important thing. And then put your character and your hard work into it. And before you know it, and there is no age limit. There was a woman that shared a story. She started at is it 40, 43, and then she's get her first job like when it was 40, is it 42 or 40, 45 or something. I have a guy also that is a consultant for AWS, Nabit. He didn't even go to second, I think he only have high school certificate. And then he started learning how to code, I think at 38. He get his first job at 40. Now he's working for Microsoft, for AWS for 3 years. He has even left AWS now and freelancing. Imagine how much he's going to make. And one thing about developer is that in a year, you can make a lot of money. Like for me, I worked for 1 year, 4 months. I just I left and like just chill. Then I can look for any other opportunity, because the opportunity is just there. Like in the UK alone, in the next 5 years, there's going to be over 500,000 shortage of software engineers in the UK. Over 500,000 shortage of software engineers. There are visas today for software engineers, alone 5 years visa. We have people that have been here, 5 years visa for software engineers. 5 years, they give you 5 years to be here. You can come with all your family members. for 5 years. Not only in the UK, in all over the world, there are opportunities for software engineers. So if you can sit down, give yourself 6 months, buy your data, go to free code camp, learn it one step at a time, build project, build your portfolio. I guarantee you, apply to job as much as possible. Even it may not be easy in the first place, but you are going to make it. You understand? Even for me, when I moved to the UK, a lot of people saying, it's not easy. You just be doing 10,000, is it £10 per hour job? What kind of thing? I told them, I said, I'm not going to do it. And that's why I said, I'm not going to do what kind of whatever job, factory job. A lot of people, like when you move abroad, people just play themselves low and everything. Then I have to like fight that thing, like, no, we can be here and we can work professionally. And that's what I did. And I get a lot of rejection, but I kept on doing it. I kept on doing it until I got the job. You understand? I first got a job with Udacity in the US, then I get a job in the UK, then we move forward from there. You understand? So right now, I'm not even looking for a job. Job is looking for me every day. You understand? So you just need just your first breakthrough, and before you know it, every other doors will begin to open to you. I've had other Nigerians friend of mine that have been abroad for a long time. Because of my stories I share and everything, of them have started learning tech and everything. I have 2 people that just got jobs recently. 2 people. You understand? There's another one that got a job with Citibank, one of the biggest bank in the US. You understand? So it's sometimes you just need to show people what is possible. It's not impossible. So if you like put up your mind that, okay, I'm not going to be doing minimum wages job alone. Even if you are doing minimum wages job now, but you are preparing yourself in the background. Even when I moved to the UK, I worked in the factory for 3 months or something.
Like me.
Yeah, I worked in the factory for 3 months to raise fund when I was going to Flatiron School. My first Mac I bought, I used that money to buy my first Mac. Factory job. How much did they pay you? Like £600 per week or something. So you understand that kind of thing. So do all night. But I just did it because I know that I need to go to London, but I need some money to be able to aid me. And I do that job and I make those money. I bought my Mac. I bought what I need. I move. Now I can buy whatever Mac I want to buy now without sweat. You understand? So, and that is how you think. You have to be strategic about what you're doing, know where you're going. Even if you want to stay in Nigeria, there's a lot of opportunity for you to be working remotely and you'll be fine. If I'm working in Nigeria right now with my salary, maybe I'll be living next to Buhari Asura because I'm just saying, like, because it's a lot. Like, if you have my job and you're in Nigeria, you're going to be living like a lot of money for you because it's going to save you so much because you may not be paying how much you want to pay in house rent. You'll be paying 500,000 house rent. It will be nice for you. So even I have some people that are like they are working remotely in Nigeria, but they have a very nice space and everything, and it's cool. So, but if you feel like okay, you want to move abroad because of your family, you want them to have a better life and things like that, or you're afraid of security, yeah, why not? Learn the skill first. Don't be in a rush. Learn the skills. After you learn the skills, build your project, build your network, send friend requests to other engineer and developers, build network in different organizations you want to work with, write your articles, let them see it, tag them once in a while, talk about what you are learning, you understand, teach other people if you can, you understand. So be strategic about building your network. So then before you know, you start applying for opportunities. Even that one that are going to be telling you that, okay, do you want to do this and everything, you understand? And before you know it, the doors will open for you. I know I've talked for like 2 hours now. So I'm just going to like open up for question. Yazid, I think he has been raising his hand since. So we start from you. So let's start from that. Yazid, I'm gonna unmute. Yeah, good.
Okay, thanks so much for such opportunity. Thank you so much for sharing with us what you've experienced over the years. So my question here is, I'm a graphic designer, and I so much have interest in tech. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm a graphic designer. I use CorelDRAW, all the CorelDRAW X7, X8. and
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can advance using Adobe because I see. So I'm thinking how, and I have data, and I have interest in data science. So I'm just thinking, what can I do with the graphic design talent, skills that I have now, despite that is no more fit into the 21st century talent like Adobe and other stuff for graphic design. What more can I do with it? I really want to figure out where exactly I want to focus on if I'm to be in the tech space.
Okay. So just like I said now, I also started out with designs, which is good. So it just depend on your own transaction. User experience design is something that is really amazing these days. It's really good. It's really booming. So if you want to learn Adobe, like you want to learn like Adobe have a software called Adobe SD, which is really good. So maybe you want to learn Adobe SD for I'll just using the Adobe XD. Good. So if you have Adobe XD, good. And then you can learn a lot about user UI UX is something that you should go for me, I would say, because it's very easy for graphic designer to translate to user interface design because there are a lot of companies that now need the service of user interface design, even for mobile, for web, even for other product designs. User experience is very good. So explore that field. I think you will have a place there. So I share Figma also. Figma is a very good tool for user, and it's free for people to use. Adobe SD, I think you have to pay something. So I don't know, but I think it's free also, Adobe SD. But Figma is totally free. So, but then you can just look at Photoshop. Learn Photoshop. I think for you, if you have been using CorelDRAW a lot, learn Photoshop, uh, Adobe Corel and Illustrator and InDesign. They will change your work a lot. Because for me, I remember then, one of the things that singled me out then get my first job in Abuja was because I was using Adobe Suite. All the companies, they were all using CorelDRAW. So when I get there, I was the one that bring Adobe Suite and teach them how to use it and everything. And it's like, for example, you're doing some kind of photo editing enhancement. You can't do it so much in CorelDRAW. CorelDRAW can do basic design, but like after I finish my design, then I can take it to Photoshop and enhance it, the colors, separate them and everything. And it just looks so great. And that is one of the things you gain from Photoshop or Adobe Suite that CorelDRAW doesn't give you. You understand? Like that post design, like if you see a normal design is good, then I can take that design and then enhance it more. And Photoshop can do that for you. You understand? Okay. So another question.
Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. Any other question?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, Thank you, sir, for this privilege, sir.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the privilege to be part of this um, program, sir.
Not
And
sir, just
my
say
question is,
sa. Oh, Nigerians, come on, go on.
I got started with WordPress, then I moved on to HTML, CSS, and then I now moved on to React. I'm currently on React. I got into a paid tutorial, and
I can hear you. Go ahead.
very low. I also had to struggle to even get a laptop. The struggle has been so much. But with what you have just said in this program, I'm really encouraged to get back and really bury.
Oh, I think you're
I heard
breaking.
him recommended. So, sir, my question is in Nigeria, how to get a job within Nigeria, even while I'm still at my own level, so that it will help me because my salary is like 30 or 35,000 naira, and data
Consumption and things like that. Okay.
really a struggle to get it because the payment will be end of this month before they'll pay for as my salary for as a teacher in a private school. So
Okay.
it's just been a struggle. So I want to know if there is a
Okay. I get you.
there's a possibility of me getting within Nigeria, maybe remote, so help me to.
Yeah. So I'll just meet you now. Sorry. I think I got your question right. So what I'm trying to say to you is that the essence of this is for you to be able to use what you have right now to get what you want, right? So currently there are a lot of remote job that is happening in Nigeria now, internships and things like that. Yeah, definitely. Data is something that is very difficult, and if you are like on a low end, salary earner, and it can be very difficult for you. So that is why I give free code camp, for instance. There is no video there. Freecodecamp.org is totally free and is text based. You understand? So you don't need to like spend a lot of data to learn on free code camp. So, and one thing about web development is that web development does not consume a lot of data at all, because I just tell you that you need your um Google Chrome, you need your Visual Studio Code, and then that's it. Then when you want to host, maybe that is when you need your data. But you can build everything offline. You understand? Then when you want to push it on the server, then you can just turn off your data. You understand? So for me, as I just look out for a lot of, there is this information I shared yesterday, online learning by Pluralsight by Andela. So try as much as possible to join those platforms also. And because Andela also like they hire people remotely right now. So try as much as possible to integrate yourself with all these online platform, Nigerian tech ecosystem, and they'll follow them on Facebook, on Twitter. There's Google Nigeria now, there is Twitter Ghana. All these Nigerian offices, follow them so that when information are going out, you are able to like get those information. And there are a lot of grants, a lot of training that is going on now. I had someone talk about one that CBN is doing. So CBN pay for your training, and the organization give you, they even pay you like 3,000 naira per month or things like that. So all those opportunities are there, but you need to like start preparing yourself for those opportunities. So I am a beginner, and having had all that have been said today, this is a good opportunity for me to learn. Now my question is, can I learn everything that needs to be learned with my phone, or do I need a laptop? Okay, yeah, you can learn with your phone, but to practice, you need a laptop. So that's, you can learn if you don't have a laptop yet and you don't want to be behind, you can start learning on Free Code Camp, on your mobile phone, definitely, and type some little, but it can take a little bit of time, but it's very doable. That's why I say that it's all about willingness. So you can, but for you to be able to like start practice more, so I can have a lot of real estate, having a laptop will actually help. You understand? So for me, I'm like, don't be discouraged because you feel like you don't have all the resources you need now. So part of the story is using whatever you have right now. You understand? To move yourself to the next level you want to go. So, you understand? Any other question? Hello?
Hi,
Yes,
I can
I
hear you.
Any
Okay, I
other
guess someone.
question? Okay, James, yeah.
okay. My name is James Ama. So I have a question.
Go ahead.
So my question is, how do I land an internship? Because outside learning the basics, which is web development and other thing, like for me personally, landing an internship has been very, very difficult. Even with Andela and their bootcamp, like how do you upgrade your profile to be able to land you an internship both locally and internationally? So I like you to like lay emphasis on on the internship part of it. Thank you.
Okay. So on getting an internship, what I'm going to tell you is this. There is nothing out there that is going to drop on your lap. A lot of people are learning how to code all over the world every day. The competition is fierce. I won't lie to you. But that is the reason why I'm telling you what to do to stand out. Learning how to code is just one bit of it. The organization you want to work for and everything, they want to see more. You understand? So that is why you need to put yourself out there and be visible. Now, I talked about upgrading your LinkedIn, your Medium account, your GitHub account. All these things are very, very important. Now, if you don't get an interview in internship, what will I do? One is I will look at those people that get the internship. What did they do differently? I'm going to look at their LinkedIn account. I'm going to look at all their platforms and everything. What did they learn? What did they learn and everything? If I can reach out to them personally, I will. There was a guy that reached out to me when he finished in part-time school. You have heard about me because, in our court, we are supposed to spend like 3 months or something for the specialized training. And before we finished, I've applied the job. So, and everybody was surprised because I was telling everyone that like, I want to work out of this program and get a job. So what did I do? I've started applying for job from day one. I was coding, I was building, I spent more time, like every week we are supposed to build a project. I built 2. They said, build a project in a week or in every 2 weeks. I built 2. In every 2 weeks, I'll build 3. So I'm just like working harder more than every other person to push yourself out there. So while all of them are still scrambling on doing one thing, and when after they close, they go home, I will stay back, work more. I will apply for a lot of applications. While I was there, they are still doing learning and learning and learning. I've been doing interviews. I've done like how many interviews? So the thing is that you don't need to give up on yourself. It's fierce. Don't think that because you don't get a result, they are not saying it. Keep applying. I've applied. Sometimes I apply to as many as 4 jobs, like 50, 60 on a day. You understand? And one thing about, if you have your LinkedIn project profile appropriately done, that is what they have. They call this instant apply. Instant apply, we just copy your LinkedIn account and just send it to they can just see you all your CV. So that's why you have to make your CV on LinkedIn update as possible as is it on your main CV. Make it clean, and even LinkedIn will help you organize it very well. You understand? Check my own LinkedIn page out. Check other people that are causing what you want out. So just keep applying. You understand? And write about technical stuff. And the organization that you'd like to do your internship with, follow them. And one thing about LinkedIn is that if you go to an organizational page, you'll see all the alumni, people that are working in the organization. Look at those that are familiar with your department. Follow them there. Sometimes you can just send them friendly messages. You understand? Like, I like what you guys are doing in your company. I would love to learn more about this. Or if they write an article, help them share it. Like, or if you read an article that they wrote, read it, take a point from it, make it a form of discussion. Like, okay, wow, Andela is great. I saw this article you guys put on these things. That'd be amazing. Or if you catch an error there, tell them about the error and everything. So do things in an unconventional way. Don't do things. And another mistake we made is that we wait until internship application is out. Sometimes we don't need to wait. Sometimes you can write your own personal story and send an email directly to some people in the organization that can connect you, and that can even stand you out from other people. You understand? So I've read a story of a lot of people that got internship with Facebook in Nigeria. For them, I've read their stories. It's not easy. Some of them are getting a lot of rejections. So rejection is part of the process. Some rejection, they will give you what you miss. Some may not even give you anything, but that doesn't mean that you should stop. So, and there's another thing I'm going to share with every one of you. Is a open source internship platform also, but they give you a lot of projects, simple open source project you can contribute to, and can help you like boost your GitHub account and things like that. You understand? So you don't need a template for a LinkedIn account. Just go and check other people's profile and you learn from it and you use it to update your own. You understand? You don't need templates. So just go check other people's projects. Check my own. If you look at some of other of my friends, look, you see related people and things like that, or check for your own field. Look at people that just search software engineers, look at their profile and how they organize it and use it as an example to build your own. You understand? So just learn from other people that have done that thing ahead of you. Olufemi, can you ask a question?
All right, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Firstly, I want to say a big thank you for this eye-opening session. Okay. A final year medical student here in Nigeria, and I'm actually considering say switching into tech afterwards. I have interest in data science, but it's sort of confusing. Like, it looks like a whole new, like a new field entirely. Like, I don't even know how to go about it. I don't know if you have any advice or something to guide me on how to go about it, sir.
Okay, so for data science, I share a platform called Cargo, right? Did you say it? I share Cargo.
Yes, I wrote it down, sir.
That's very good. So one thing I will tell you to do is that when you're learning data science is so broad. That is the problem. It's so broad. But one thing I will first tell you to do is that learn Python first. So Python is the gateway and the key to data science. If you learn Python and you are good with Python, every doubt of your question will be answered. So just learn Python and be good at it. If you look at cargo.com, they have a 7 hours course on Python. If you can finish that, that will actually expose you to a lot of information and give you a lot of power. Because one thing about the thing is that if you want to learn something and you're like looking at the big picture, it's difficult to learn. But if you look at the basic structure of what you want to learn, and then you can still start getting on all those big information, and then it's easy for you to comprehend. You understand? So just learn Python. By the time you finish learning Python, every other thing will move. But just make cargo.com your home. Everything you need to become a successful data science or data engineer is there. You will like it.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. So BG, at the moment, I don't have a question regarding what we have learned so far. I appreciate your love and opportunity given it all. I have to see more and learn more of JavaScript as we progress. Thank you. Yeah. So I think no, it's not cargo. I'll just share it now. Let me just share that page with you, everyone. So if you have interest in learning Python or data science, just share it. I'm going to share my YouTube channel with you guys so you can check it. I'm going to be doing a lot of resources on front-end development and JavaScript and things like that. So yeah, so just follow me there. It's going to be a lot of help to you. So, and if you're absolute beginners also that just want to like pick up all these little things, then I have like absolute beginners to that. So yeah, which is great. Yeah, which is really great. So any other question before we go? Really like we really try.